If you've been around me for any amount of time, you know that I have two absolutely favorite Easter stories about what kids in Sunday school said, right? And I'm going to tell them again because I just love them. And if you've heard them before, maybe you forgot. But if, you're still going to laugh because they're funny. So the first one is about when the kids were asked what happened after the stone was rolled away on Easter morning. And then as Jesus walked out of the tomb, they wanted to know what happened. And so little Tommy has just eagerly raised his hand and he said, Jesus saw his shadow, and there'll be 6 more weeks of winter. And then my absolute favorite one, the second one, there's Sally, who when asked what the first words that Jesus said when he came out of the tomb on Easter Sunday morning, Sally stood up really tall and, she raised her arms and she exclaimed, "Ta-da!" So they're funny even if you've heard them before, right? Ta-da, yeah. You're going to get a chance to practice. Okay, all right. So I'm here today to encourage you this Sunday after Easter to live life in the glow of Easter. The glow. To live life alive with the life of Christ. To have your own ta-da. Whoop. Okay, I'm ta-da-ing the light here. Okay. I want you to have your own ta-da on a daily basis now for the whole rest of the year until next Easter, okay? To remember that even though we celebrated very magnificently last Sunday, I want you to remember that the party isn't over. No, it's not, folks. So please say with me, the party isn't over.
The party isn't over.
Okay, because I live in the glow of Easter. Because I live in the glow of Easter. I am alive with the life of Christ. I am alive with the life of Christ. And then we're going to add the ta-da. I know you're going to like doing it, so do it again. Ta-da! All right. So isn't that the way we want to live? Isn't that the way we want to live in the glow of Easter? I mean, I do. I want to glow. I want to shine, to rise up to my full potential as a God being. Don't you want that too? Yeah, most of you do great. All right. So don't we want to experience life connected, really connected with the Christ within? Really connected, yeah. You don't have to be bashful in saying it either, So don't we want to live our divine nature? Yeah, okay. To have that sacred connection that our brother, our way-shower Jesus had? Yeah. Remember, Jesus, transcended the limits of the physical realm all the time. And last week, Easter Sunday, represented Jesus's grand finale. His ta-da. Yeah. But Easter just isn't just about Jesus. The Easter message is a message for all of us, every one of us. See, Jesus demonstrated what was possible for you and for me. The message for us is this: if we live in close connection with the sacred, with the realization of who we are as Jesus did, we will transform. We will rise up from any tombstone of limitation and fully resurrect into a life of goodness and greatness. Sound good? Yeah. Unity minister and author Eric Butterworth once said, "The open tomb of Easter morning says to you, You can become what you innately are. And this innateness of you far transcends anything you have ever conceived of in your wildest flights of fancy. He had quite a way with words, didn't he? So he's telling us that there is within each of us a person of stature, of genius, of mastery, struggling to be released. And if we commit to live life in the glow of Easter, really as the glow of Easter, which is life enlightening and majestic, then the possibilities are unlimited, absolutely unlimited. Because every stone of limitation will be rolled away. They'll just totally be rolled away from our tombs. In other words, any stone can be rolled away by living the life of Christ. Living, in and as the glow of Easter. Simply by staying in the spirit of Easter. By remembering how wonderful it was to resurrect. How great it felt during Lent to release things from our lives that no longer served us. Did most of us do that? Did most of us release a bunch of stuff during Lent? Yeah, good. Some of you did. All right. So, and then we got to reimagine life unentombed as we release. So I'd like you to listen to these deeply moving words by a man named John Post. And this John Post was in a court-appointed recovery program. This was some years ago. And when he was in the recovery program, he also discovered a new thought church. I think it was a religious science one. And it's entitled Rocks in the Road. He writes, "Here I am, stumbling when I should be standing, crawling when I should be running, crying when I should be laughing. The road ahead wide open and smooth, the goal so clear and tempting, the journey so easy if I just allow it to be, except the rocks I throw in my own road, holding me back, slowing me down, making difficult the things that should be so easy. The mirror that is the rest of my life, still just a blank white wall with ghostly outlines traced in places. A hint of what lies ahead, waiting for the color and the texture that comes with the living of it. A blank slate, a white wall except for the rocks thrown there by myself. Clear the way. Quit creating my own hurdles. Quit holding myself back. See the picture, live the colors, feel the texture, be alive again. Kindness and warmth live here. Music and laughter live here. The mirror hidden but still real, waiting to be revealed, hiding behind the rocks that I place in my road." Nice, huh? Any rocks in your road this week? I mean, Easter's only been a week away, right? But I have some other questions for you this morning, and you each get to answer these for yourself. You don't have to say it out loud or anything. And we're going to answer these ourselves, assuming some rocks may have dotted our paths this week. Just assuming that. I know some did mine. So, what would it take to continue the rock removal? To keep on rolling away the tombstones that block our paths, so that we could truly make that lasting sacred connection to the Christ within. What would it take to rise up fully into the powerful men and women of God that we are, totally alive with the life of Christ? living each day in the glow of Easter. Are you answering these yourself now? Okay. What would it take? What would it take? Would it help? Would it help to remember from Scripture that over 2,000 years ago, our elder brother, our way shower Jesus, told us that we were sons and daughters of the Most High? Would it help to know that over 2,000 years ago, his resurrection symbolized the power of spiritual understanding over human limitations? That over 2,000 years ago, he said that the things he did, we could do and more, even greater things. Would it help us live alive with the life of Christ if we knew, as Jesus did, that we had an ongoing, unending, continual, sacred connection with all of life? That we're one with God, that we're divine creations, beings of light that showed up here, right here on the planet Earth at exactly the time we were supposed to. Exactly the time we were supposed to. Would it seal the deal to know that you and I are the beloved of God, eternal? That we are not merely drops of water in the mighty ocean, but Rumi's version, which is, we are not drops in the ocean, we are the entire ocean in a drop. Yeah. Would it help us live and love the Christed life if we absolutely got it? You know, that we are the creators of our own universes, because the creative power of the universe is close as our breath, as near as our hands and feet. Our brother Jesus knew all these things. He knew all these things. And by understanding what Easter symbolizes, each of us can release our own doubts, our own fears, our own sense of personal inadequacy, and we can move joyously into a new dimension of life. We can. A higher realization of the truth. That's with a capital T. A new level of consciousness where we know the truth, and the truth sets us free. Easter Sunday, again, I'll remind you, was last week, but the party isn't over. Because being alive with the life of Christ, living in the glow of Easter, stepping fully into our greater good, identifying ourselves as spiritual beings, divine offspring, we are called to claim our birthright with more awareness than we ever have before. We are asked to accept the responsibility to live Easter every day. Every day. Alive with the life of Christ by putting our focus, our awareness on our divinity, rather than on our limited personal sense of self, or really just on our physical bodies. To live in the glow of Easter means we get it. We get it. That we know that we are eternal, that we're infinite beings, that we are spiritual beings having a physical body experience. And even as our bodies age, which I well know since I just had a birthday, our spirits are eternal. Our spirits are eternal, which means what? Forever and ever, right? Forever and ever. What does eternal mean? Forever and ever. Forever and ever. Great. Yes, forever and ever. See, alive with the life of Christ enables us to acknowledge that we are whole and holy. Whole with the W and with an H, whole and holy. It means we are one, that we are one with all life, connected to our source and all of life. Not just those people we like, all of life. Which means then that we are never alone, never alone. Alive with the life of Christ means that we are conscious of our thoughts and beliefs, knowing that these thoughts and beliefs create our reality, which in turn means we take responsibility for all our experiences, the good and the not so good. And in taking responsibility, we learn how to live more consciously and more creatively. Alive with the life of Christ, we live in abundance, continually grateful for our many blessings. One with the infinite source of supply, open to all channels of good. Alive with the life of Christ, living in the glow of Easter, we are loved, loving, and loved. In love with ourselves and all others. So does being alive with the life of Christ sound good to you? Appealing? Yes. It does, doesn't it? Yeah. So we just need to keep on keeping on. We just need to keep on keeping on. Living life in the glow of Easter means we may need to stay in each moment, present to the presence, right? To that gift of spirit within. And we can use our power for this month, which is divine wisdom. We can use divine wisdom on a daily basis. We can call on our disciple James during our prayer time, during our meditation time, because those are two things that we got to keep doing, right? They're part of this whole thing. And we can call on our disciple James, trusting, there's that T word, trusting that we will always get the right advice when we call on that divine wisdom. We're always going to get the right advice. And I found out something that you'd think I would at this age, that we don't have to figure all of life out. We don't have to figure life out. We don't have to force a solution. Believe me, I tried that many times with results that were somewhat less than good. But I have come to believe that I really don't need to figure out life by my human self. Billie, the human personal self, does not have to figure out life. That work is done for me and for us by seeking divine wisdom. And by seeking divine wisdom, guess what? Clarity is revealed. Like on a clear day. Yeah. Clarity. The path is made clear. One of Reverend Sharon's spiritual teachers told her that spirit never speaks in confused tones. Spirit always speaks in a way that you can understand. And she wrote that in her book, Adventures in Resilience, which is all about our 12 powers. And this mentor, gave her a mantra to say. And this is what he told her. I know what to do and I do it. That's the mantra. I know what to do and I do it. You want to practice that? I know what to do and I do it. Okay. Using our power of divine wisdom, we can easily live in the glow of Easter, seeking and following divine wisdom on a daily basis. And what came to me when I was putting the lesson together, that it might help us to sit up in bed every morning and declare, I know what to do when I do it. Yeah, that might help. Of course, if someone's sleeping, I don't know, never mind. Anyway, let's practice it again, though. I know what to do and I do it. I know what to do and I do it. See, the wisdom within will guide us hopefully ever so gently to let go of those things that don't serve our highest good. And those were some of the things that I worked on during Lent, using the Release and Reimagine booklet. Some of you use that too, right? Some of you do. Yeah, it's a good booklet. See, I use divine wisdom to look at things like morality, complaining, doubt, fear, rigidity, stress, overindulgence. These were all in the book. Maybe I didn't have them all. Well, anyway. Bitterness, resistance, chaos, scarcity, negative thinking, judging others, stubbornness, insecurity, being overwhelmed, sorrow, indecision, and self-pity. And in this booklet, and Reimagining Wisdom, Reverend John Bierman wrote this: wisdom comes by surrendering egoic thought and asking Spirit to guide your path. In the asking, wisdom emerges. I'm going to read that part again. In the asking, wisdom emerges. And then he continues, by moving your attention to your body and noticing the space around your heart, you will find stillness. In the stillness, wisdom comes forth like an artesian well, gushing forth with truth, knowledge, and understanding. That's pretty impressive. Yeah. See, with spiritual wisdom comes the understanding, the realization that there is nothing to fear, that all is well. There is nothing to fear, all is well. Right? Want me to say it again? Yeah. There is nothing to fear, all is well. So it's time in the glow of Easter to fully awaken our belief systems, to live the life of Christ, to reimagine life, making space for our highest truth to emerge, free from fear, filled with gratitude and appreciation, being flexible, extending empathy and compassion, standing in faith, knowing we are never alone, that there is nothing that the presence of God within can't help us through. Nothing. Recognizing, too, that our adversaries are our teachers. And this was in the booklet. I love this saying, let bitterness become betterness. Let bitterness become betterness. Living in the glow of Easter, we see our past with all its interesting events as just what it was. Not judging it, it just was. It was our past. And we look with God goggles and affirm the divine spark in all people. All people. Those that we really like and those that we don't. Living in the glow of Easter means we have a daily practice of forgiveness. Living in the glow of Easter invites us to welcome learning opportunities as a way to return to balance and harmony. It means we let God be God in us. It also means that we pray each day, thy will be done. We turn our will in our life over the care of God each day. Thy will be done. Alive with the life of Christ, we know that every day is sacred. Every single day is sacred. And we reimagine those sacred moments as peacefulness and serenity. And we get that every time we meditate. Jesus overcame death. And we can not only live in the glow, or we overcame death by believing more in life than in death. And we can only live in the glow of Easter we can be the glow of Easter by continuing to awaken our belief systems to rise up. I have an example for you. There was a young nun who was making her rounds as a healthcare worker, and she ran out of gas. So she walked to the gas station and to borrow a car with enough gas to start the car and then to drive back to the station to fill it up. But the gas station, the gas can was already loaned out to someone. So she went back to her car, she spotted a bedpan she was taking to a person. And this nun was very resourceful. She carried the bedpan to the station, filled it up with gas, and carried it back to her car. As she was pouring the gas into the tank of her car, two men were watching from across the street. And one of them turned to the other and said, "I know that it said that Jesus turned water into wine, but if that car starts, I'll become a believer for the rest of my life." So that's the invitation for us to become believers for the rest of our lives in the power that occurs when we live from our sacred connection as Jesus did. Let the truth be that God within us is greater than anything outside of ourselves, and I mean anything. Let us live from a consciousness of faith that all things are possible. So I want you to affirm with me again, I am alive with the life of Christ. Together, I am alive with the life of Christ. I live in the glow of Easter. And then, ta-da! One more time on the ta-da. Ta-da! And now close your eyes for a minute and make a promise to yourself that you'll remember that the party isn't over, that you'll know who you are now, that you'll know, now promise yourself that you will live life in the glow of Easter, as the glow of Easter, fully alive with the life of Christ, today, tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, through all the days to come. Ta-da, and so it is. Amen.